I'm already full of wonder. I'm full of wonder. Am I in the right place? Oh, there you are. Oh, back there. Okay.
Hi, Tom.
Thanks for
Hello there, Go the Flow. Yeah. Are you kidding me? The only thing I've been worried about all day long is that I'd get into some other project and I'd look up and it's like, oh my God, I just went over
9:30.
So, yeah. So I had to come early to make sure I didn't screw up.
Yeah, I think
Well,
Slack's
this is
still getting set up.
I love that. I mean, just to be able to do the scale matters. You in a place this big, it already you feel like whoa.
I like big, yeah.
Well, it just if sometimes small is nice too. You know, ask Tom Hanks, but big has its definitely has its place. Hey, Kristen, so great to see you.
Likewise.
Looking
I tried to drop
really,
a portal, but it wouldn't let me drop a portal. Here you go.
What?
Hello.
Who knew?
Let me invite Claire and Snow, or maybe they can follow me over here.
Claire is here. It's Claire herself.
Claire's here. Okay.
It looks like God is still sitting.
I don't know. I was standing there and I said something to him and I saw him like doing with his hands, but he was muted.
He must have popped off. He just had surgery today, actually, or yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hello there, buddy.
So
nice to see you.
He's online
going to do that.
Hello, Tom. How are you?
That's why his throat is
in purple
all
as
sore
always.
and
Some things never change.
You got intubated.
Yeah.
Doing great, thanks.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, are you experiencing any cold weather where you are out there on the island?
So it's a little cold, but I'm not complaining. You know, it's okay.
We've got
so wind gets me down a little bit. 40, 50 mile an hour winds off the ocean can bum me out after about day 3.
Wow.
But other than that, rough. I kind of that only happens a couple times a year. It's not like a forever type of thing. But yeah, that's what they say. Those people settle into Great Plains of America. That's what they would say. It's like those winds. They would finally just wear you down.
Well, I was saying to my friend,
how much did you get, Claire?
2 inches, which is
okay.
Fabulous. It's just
that is amazing. It's been going for a long time there too. Ever since Jimmy Carter's funeral, they've been talking about how cold it is. It's like people walking out in the freezing cold at Jimmy Carter's funeral.
Yeah, it's been very cold this winter. It's 22 base temperature and wind chills below that right now. It was more snow south of us. They said it kind of was going to dip. So Louisiana,
I know Albany got like 6,
and then went. Yeah, North Florida got snow, and that's Pensacola, and that's down there.
Gaia speaking.
I love it, but my granddaughter, it was her first snow, and she was going berserk in it. You could imagine, and she couldn't find her other glove, so her dad was like, "Never mind, we're fine," and they did all the stuff, and she rolled in it. But then she was crying because her hands hurt so bad and had an actual hysterical breakdown. It was very odd reaction. Like
it's painful.
Someone you have to slap. Kelly was saying that maybe her hands were doing that thing that some people have, where it's just super painful. Like
the James Webb Telescope
more so, because like even when it got better, her hand was white, but the tips were still red.
It'll
yeah, there's a name for that. That's my mother had that. Yeah, it's a thing.
Something.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it now. That's it. You got it. Bingo. Yeah,
you got it.
That's it. Raynaud's syndrome or something like that.
It's like your blood vessels contract really hard or whatever,
and they just stay there, which is a good thing to do, but they're supposed to let go, but they forget to do that. So then you're in trouble.
Matt ran tepid water in the sink in the bathroom and got her to put her hands in, but she was hysterical. I mean, like almost like someone you have to, like I say, if they were an adult, you would slap them to get them.
Well, the first time body shit happens, sometimes you think, well, this is me forever. That's it for now. How would you know?
Yeah, true. The 5-year-old.
The first time I felt this crick in my neck, it's like, oh my God, my neck just is gone. What is going to happen? I couldn't.
And it gets worse the next day.
Yeah, exactly. It took several days before I realized, oh, this is what happens in life. Now I get it.
Every time something happens like
Ryan.
that, I always
Hey, Bonnie.
I'm reminded of how fragile or fragile he is, I like to say, from this
How are you?
Christmas
Hello.
story. That we are
How are
taken
you?
down. So,
I was turning around. Yeah,
Sure.
sorry.
Don't even
We are
say that.
so-
You jinx it even by saying toothache. So
we
be
are
quick,
so
careful.
vulnerable.
How's your week?
Even vulnerable to
Pretty
vibes.
good, yeah. It was
That's for
very cold
sure.
in Toronto.
Scott's
this
up there.
week,
He's
but
doing
it's getting
something.
better now. You're in
Yeah.
DC, right?
Yeah, it's cold here
He's
too,
getting
but it's
ready.
finally getting better as
We
well.
see you doing your last minute
Nice.
preparation there, Scott.
I think it's
Yeah.
cute that he's really
a
little
cool
still,
Multiplying.
but he's
Hey, Ryan.
mirrored
just-
himself larger.
Oh.
There's 2 of them. I didn't realize that until
Where-
now.
I didn't see.
Very
Oh,
cool.
oh. Well,
But he's
that's a. Where's the mirror?
he's
That's a
still really
picture. Where's the
little.
mirror? I don't see the mirror. Right.
I guess
I
it's
see-
projectile. I don't know
I don't
how
know.
he's doing it.
No, they're
I
different
mean, I see-
people. I think that one's
Yeah.
probably a camera or something.
I'm with Kristen on that one. I think it's just an
Yeah.
instance of a camera, Scott.
Oh,
But
oh,
he's
no,
still little.
right
There's
here.
something weird happening now.
Yeah,
They're
lots
both
of people.
moving around in some sort of. Oh, look at now.
Oh,
Kristen is
now
showing
there's
us
2
something.
Kristens.
It's the attack of the 20-foot Kristen. We need
I knew
more.
Sc- I
What
knew
do you-
Scott wouldn't make himself
Yeah.
that large on purpose.
Oh, I don't see it from where I am, but I sure saw Kristen at large. Maybe you're seeing something I didn't.
He was where I was.
Oh, I got. Well,
there.
yeah, I see. Well, you were to me quite large. So,
He's jumped down now.
and I've seen that. It's an effect. It's. I mean, what's her name? Rachel D. That was her whole act. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she used to be large. There's Ryan.
I don't know if that virtual green screen's still in use. I don't think so, but I had it going for a while. I think you were part of setting that up, weren't you, Kristen?
Hey, Bonnie. Hey, Andrea. Good
Yeah.
to see
I
you
haven't
guys.
seen anything like that in here.
Hello.
Engage,
How's
I
it
think,
going?
at it.
Good. How are you?
I
How's
think
the
you can do.
weather?
I can imagine how it could be done in
It's
Engage
good.
too.
It
There's
warmed
probably a
up
way to
today,
do it here.
which
There
is
must be a
nice.
way.
Oh,
Hey,
good.
Rain.
Hey.
I'm sure.
I
It
just-
Yeah, the
wasn't
whole
really
Christmas
anything
coast thing is
Wow.
super.
spectacular.
Yeah.
You
Lots of
know,
people
it was
here.
just
Yeah.
a clear
Yeah.
plane
Yeah,
that
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
showed,
finally gonna
like,
start warming
basically
up
like
a
a
little
video
bit this
player, you
weekend
know?
here. So
Exactly.
that's good.
Fog
Video
over
players
there.
are just more
Yeah.
feisty here. That's the thing. But there's a way
Yeah,
to do
we
it.
had
I'm
3
sure.
days off school.
No,
This
no,
guy
no.
does.
You like this?
Oh,
Make it more of a
wow.
focus of your life than
Yeah,
any of us
well,
feel
you know,
like making.
it's-
That's the
it's-
trouble.
I know, that's
There was
exactly
just
right.
enough that the
Yeah.
roads
Crack
weren't
up.
frozen.
Marin's
and,
been
you
out of
know,
school all week because
And where
of
I
It's
am
been a
was
while.
2 inches
cleared
of
pretty
snow.
quick. Where
Yeah.
Kyoki is
It's
got
been
pretty
a
good.
bit.
Oh, that's
Actually, it's
amazing.
cold.
Snow.
It's
I
the
guess
cold
there are parts
temperatures
of
mostly,
Canada that
and
still had some
It's
ice,
cold.
so.
turned to ice.
That's
on
because you
her.
guys
Hey,
don't
good
know
to see
how
you.
to function
Seen
in
nothing
the...
but
behind
snow
you.
for the past month.
I wouldn't trust the people driving.
Yeah,
to be
the
honest.
The nose.
Wow.
Hello,
everyone.
The audio
my
just
name is
changed. I
Rick.
don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Hey,
amplified.
Jack.
Look
at you.
Are we like in a
good.
zone?
Yeah, something happened.
For those of you
We're all
that may not be
amplified.
aware, I changed the
Yeah,
environment.
it's hard to talk
This
now.
is what it means
Everybody's
for
boosted.
everyone to be in God
Okay.
mode.
Yeah.
Everyone is
See,
boosted
I
at the
can do anything
moment.
with my
So,
settings.
I didn't hear what you
So,
said.
wow.
Can you
Can
repeat
you
it?
Up on the
yeah, the
Powerful poster.
That didn't
the
help.
voice audio is
Everyone is.
boosted right now,
Yeah.
and everyone is boosted.
Their
So,
volume's
if I if I
Just
could
put
get
in your
everyone's
mouth.
attention.
See if that helps.
a small kid.
Yeah.
Ding.
I'm gonna shrink
I'd like
your
to make a
mouth, though.
speech.
Starting.
Hey. Yeah, gonna go ahead and get started. I feel so guilty to interrupt so many wonderful conversations. I'm looking around the room and it's like such a who's who of just the most wonderful people I know. So gosh, I'm overwhelmed that you're here. Fuzz and I have been excited about doing this for a long time now, and we just really been looking forward to this, and I have a mute feature for the room, but I really dislike like muting, so everybody's boosted, so that way if something comes up during the event, anyone can say something, but just be mindful that if there's any background noise, like doing the dishes or something, like it will go across the environment. And if at any time you just feel like you want to wander too, there is a diorama teleporter in the very back of the ship here, which is a scaled Earth and Sun model, and you can kind of hunt for the JWST space telescope, kind of like a Where's Waldo game. So if you get restless and you'll still be able to hear the presentation down there, feel free to check out Fuzz's wonderful design at any time, and there's like a little teleporter to get back to you. All right, and yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to a night of celebrating the JWST pictures and discoveries and just each other's presence. A night of cosmic wonder. And, a couple of just housekeeping things to hopefully make the event more comfortable for everyone here is for a little bit of ambience, we got some, cello music playing in the background to give us that nice feel. And but if you do want to turn it down a little bit, it's connected to the world volume. So if you go to your volume settings, you can dial it down or all the way off, whichever way is more comfortable. We may get trolled, this is VR chat. We're kind of a friends of friends event, but you just never know who's going to pop in and start some kind of trouble. So always remember, you can just jump out of VR. So, don't let it startle you to the point where you feel stuck. If we get trolled, we'll try to moderate. But if we don't get to it fast enough, we apologize. And just remember, you can always jump to your home world or shut VR off. We are streaming, so hopefully a couple of people come on the stream. And yeah, it looks like we actually got a comment from the stream here. Oh, Joffrey, I'm so glad that you could come in on YouTube, and thanks for letting us know that you're there. So yeah, just keep in mind that we are streaming. Like, don't admit to any crimes. Like, you are boosted. It will go out through YouTube.
Can't.
And hopefully things work. we spent quite a bit of time programming and some time testing, but if things don't work, we do have the world program to reset. So if you find like maybe you're not seeing something and you think you should be, jump to your home world and then jump back, and this world should reset and sync for you. But with that said, we're hoping everything just works out.
I know, get out.
So yeah, with that, like just a couple of items there to make the experience nice, and let's go ahead and jump into some material. So I'm gonna do the kind of introductory launch of the ship that we affectionately call the USS Eggcorn, to kind of symbolize growth of our knowledge and curiosity and our friendships together. I'm going to go ahead and open the dome. You should hear a little bit of a noise, so just prepare for that. So here we are, like launching our new spaceship experience. And, I hope to kind of maybe continue doing some events like this every once in a while. Maybe once a quarter or something, we'll explore like a new discovery in space.
Spectacular.
And super shout out to Fuzz there with his, VR acumen, being able to put these animations together in our little spaceship. And, here we are starting out our journey at Earth, with a little bit of overview experience. We took our ship out to the JWST to get a little bit of a look at it there. And what is it that we're doing here tonight? Why are we all here? Other than that, we just are all super connected friends and just are enthusiastic about VR. What are we going to do tonight? We're going to explore and celebrate the JWST. It is still going strong, still making daily discoveries. There's all kinds of news to follow. And if we go all the way back, it was in December 25th, 2021 when the James Webb launched, and it had such a far journey to go to the Lagrange 2 orbit point that it actually took a full year to get there. And Kishu, I'm not sure if I pronounced right, but hello and welcome. And yeah, it was July of 2022 when the very first pictures, so we had to wait like almost a half a year, into the summer. We launched on Christmas, and then into the summer, the very first picture release came out. And, what did we do? We put together a VR event, because what a way to underscore something monumental and meaningful in life than to get together in VR and celebrate it. So there's some pictures of us all the way back in Altspace, which has been shut down now since March 10th, right, 2023. And yeah, RIP Altspace. We were initially going to do a follow-up event, Fuzz and I, and we had already been planning, and then it took such an effort to sort of move our materials over to VR chat that it got shelved for a while, so there was a little bit of an interruption there since the last event and now, but now that we do have the world rocking, like I said, maybe like once a quarter or something, we'll be able to get together. So let me close the dome here, and what we're going to do is go to our first destination. So let me give you a little bit of a description here. We got the Carina Nebula up on deck, and to give you a little bit of an overview of where we're going is we got like a top-down view of our Milky Way galaxy, and the little yellow circle is our sun, our home, and the Milky Way is a spiral galaxy. So the structure is all of these spiral arms kind of swinging around this galactic center, and there's two major arms, the Sagittarius arm and the Perseus arm, and we're actually like in a little bit of a special place in the galaxy. We're not really in an arm. There is something called a spur that extends from the Sagittarius arm to the Perseus arm. So we're sort of in between two arms on what they call a spur. And all of these wonderful pictures that we got back from JWST are things that are in our local spur. So let's go ahead and get underway here. I'll hit the Jordy, if you can engage the warp engines for us. We'll travel the 7,000 light years that this object is from our home in the sun. And a really special factoid about the Carina Nebula is it's actually 230 light years in size. So if you can imagine that, if you were going the speed of light, it would take you 230 years to cross it, just to give you some sense of the enormous size of this object. And also, while we're underway, a quick little factoid about its formation. Like, what is a nebula? And nebulas are very special because as these giant stars, kind of live through their life cycle, and they ultimately can't support their own nuclear reaction anymore when they start running out of fuel. And they will have the biggest explosion you can imagine in the known universe. And that explosion shoots out all the materials that the sun made, all these complex elements that it fused hydrogen and helium together. And it sort of spreads all of this material out into space to make new stars. And what's special about the size of a Carina Nebula is sometimes you have a couple of stars, supernova, within proximity to each other. And where those supernovas kind of meet in the middle, you can have all these particles start to attract each other and form an even larger structure. So yeah, let's go ahead and get ourselves parked here and reopen the dome, so that we can check out this feature. Hey, where'd my arm go? I need that.
Where did it change the name?
Hey, Claire. Hey, Claire. Hi. Your voices are all amplified, just to let you know.
Oh, okay, thanks. Nice to see you too. Okay.
Yeah, hi, Dharma Deb. I'm so glad you can make it.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
And I love that avatar still. So yeah, here we are with the dome open now, and we can see a little bit of what it would be like to sort of float in the center of the Carina Nebula, being surrounded by this, what they call like the galactic mountainscape of our galactic spur that we live in. And what is unique and special about the Carina Nebula is it's actually the most active star-forming region, like, in our galaxy. So, it's not going to be the only one, because stars are still going to supernova. They're still going to create new nebula. But at this very moment in our lifetimes, it's the most active, galactic center of new star formation. And what made the JWST special is it was very infrared in design. It was designed to capture infrared light. And as you can see from the Hubble picture there in the presentation, next to the JWST picture, you see how the JWST can see through the dust? So it was the first time scientists got to glimpse like the inner structure of the Carina Nebula. So that's what scientists were so excited about James Webb, is you get almost this X-ray photo of these objects that we could never see anything but the outside of. Nebulas are also impermanent. We got a large group of mindfulness practitioners here. So here's two cheers for impermanence. The nebula eventually evaporates. So it's not just permanently there. These solar winds from the stars that are being formed in it, they create these winds that sort of start blowing the material out into deep space, and eventually the nebula sort of separates and is no longer visible. And then what's left is all these wonderful stars that it manufactured to start a whole new life cycle.
Yikes.
And this is probably the absolute most heartwarming and cool factoid I found in doing the research, is that we think our star has a sibling. There's a paper where somebody feels that, when the Earth was formed, we were, in much similar environment as this, as our sun started gathering its materials that created its nuclear reaction in all of the planets. We were once in a nebula much like this, and there's a star that they found that has a trajectory and, a movement and a composition and a size and an age, and they think 100% that star was, born along with us. And, it's out there. It's about 144 light years from us now. And I love to think about, is there like another Earth there, with like people, or some intelligence like us, wondering what we're like back here on Earth, and, maybe someday we could meet. And this is, one of the most mind-blowing things about the Carina Nebula for me is you can see it with the naked eye. And it's possible, we do have some folks in the room with us that have been to South America, the southern hemisphere, where you see this object with the naked eye, and it's just so mind-blowing to me to think 7,000 light years away, but you can see, this object. Now up here in the northern hemisphere, we also have a nebula that we can see with the naked eye. If you go to a really, really, really dark place, like I'm talking, Yosemite Park or something, where there's not a city light for, hundreds of miles. Well, that's an exaggeration, several miles. And if you have a pair of binoculars or it's a really clear night, you got good vision, you can pick out the Orion Nebula. It's just kind of to the southeast of the Orion Belt and what is like the holder for Orion's sword. So if you ever want to see a nebula with the naked eye, and you're out in a dark park someday, take a look and see if you can see it. And with that, let's go ahead and close up our dome here and get ready for our second destination, which is going to be the beautiful Southern Ring Nebula. So, Mr. Scott, if you can get our warp engines engaged once again here. Let us travel back towards Earth now. We're going to be about a 2,000 light years away to come visit the Ring Nebula, which is a much smaller object than the Carina Nebula. But what makes it special is we're kind of looking at a full life cycle here now. So this is a star much like our own sun that has gone through its own life cycle. So it was born in a place much like the Carina Nebula. It lived out its lifespan, and then it eventually had its kind of nuclear fusion operations kind of shut down a little bit too, and it spread its materials out into space and created this wonderful image that we see here. So let me go ahead and get us set up here and open up the dome. Let me do that one more time.
Da, 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 da.
So if everything works out, up and to your right, you should see an object, the planetary nebula called the Southern Ring Nebula up there. And what kind of made the James Webb telescope pictures special about the Southern Ring Nebula is we had Hubble pictures, and because of the way the material is organized inside of the nebula, there was a suspicion that there was a binary star system, but we couldn't see it. So when the James Webb Space Telescope pictures came back, lo and behold, there was visual evidence that there actually is a binary star system. So when the Southern Ring Nebula star kind of released its materials, there was a companion star that had to kind of deal with the star, shedding all of this energy out into space. And here's kind of the life cycle that I'm talking about. So you start out in a place like the Carina Nebula after you get one of these humongous stars go supernova and creates these giant star manufacturing nebulas. And then a star starts its nuclear reaction and it collects all this dust and material that that's left over from the supernova floating around in this nebula, and it creates a star with what's called an accretion disk, all this dust and gas that the star has collected as it was born. And when, as time goes by, all of those materials sort of gravitationally interact and ultimately form, rocky, big, gassy bodies that crash into each other and eventually equalize. And then you have the solar system like we have today. And then the sun goes through its changes. So going from this kind of, nicely sized, yellow, friendly, life-bearing object, that giant campfire in the center of our solar system, Eventually, its nuclear reactions start working on heavier elements like lead and iron, and the star gets massive, what we call a red giant. Now, this is millions of years from now, so I don't want anybody to worry that this is, imminent. We won't see it in our lifetimes, but eventually it will happen based on what we know. And when that red giant runs out of the energy to hold itself together, it just releases all of those materials. And, if you're within the vicinity of that, it's going to be a tough thing to adjust to. But when you're 2,000 light years away, it looks like this flower just like blooming in space as the red giant collapses into this white dwarf, and the UV radiation just lights up, just like a black light on geologic rocks, just lights up in these rainbow colors, for us to just sit back and sort of feast our eyes on. Now, eventually, the white dwarf goes through a change into what we call a black dwarf, which is all of the materials are now expended, and it's just sort of this object, kind of floating out darkly in space. But interestingly enough, it's only theoretical, because it takes trillions of years for a white dwarf to become a black dwarf. So our universe is not thought to be old enough yet for a black dwarf to even exist. So yeah, let's say so long to our friend of the Southern Ring Nebula. I'll get us closed up here. And what we're going to do next is something kind of special. If I can get Mr. Geordie LaForge to engage our engines again.
That's cool.
So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to leave our galaxy and go out into one of the universe's largest voids called the Botez Void. And what this place is galaxies tend to attract one another in what we call these kind of galactic superclusters. And then these superclusters form this kind of string-like web throughout the universe. And as they form, they can leave these giant pockets of immense voids in space where there's just simply no stars at all. And one of the biggest ones is called the Botez Void. And why I wanted to go there is we're going to turn the stars off for this next little sequence, which you can never really... Whoops, I'm okay. I'm okay. I knocked something over. Don't worry. Don't worry, anyone. But I'm going to use some special lights in the ship that we have here to sort of dim down the lights. There's nowhere in the universe you could go where you don't see the stars, but we're just going to use some special technology to make that happen. So let me go ahead and get us back on track here. And get us our dome open.
Very cool.
So here we are in the Botez Void. And, it's kind of fun to compare the Hubble and the JWST photos side by next to each other. And it's in no way to, disrespect the achievements of the JWS or the Hubble, because the Hubble ushered us into this era of looking into deep space in a way that we never could before. And what's special about the JWST is this infrared resolution where it can go so far past what our Hubble pictures were able to kind of unhide, all of these older and smaller galaxies that were behind these objects we were seeing. So, here's a side by next to each other photo of a Hubble deep space and ultimately the James Webb deep space that got released. And with these James Webb deep space photos, we've actually found a galaxy that's believed to be only 230 million years older than the Big Bang. So if we think about the time scale, it's believed that the solar system is somewhere in the neighborhood of like 4 billion years old. So this galaxy is only 230 million years, since anything in the universe existed. It's just an absolute baby in terms of, cosmological time. So very important discoveries that are made possible by how far the JWST can see. And, just kind of talking about the sort of the scale, it's very hard to fit the scale of the cosmos into our heads because the numbers are just absolutely mind-boggling. So in this single photo that the James Webb telescope took and was released to the public back in July 2022, is thought to hold 1,000 galaxies just in this single photo alone. And if we think of it in terms of our own galaxy, we've never been able to count our stars because the galactic center is just like literally just this bright, like plasma-like light that we can't, make any fidelity out of for counting. But we believe that we're anywhere from, 100 billion to 400 billion stars, just in our own galaxy. So I won't even try to do that math because I'd embarrass myself. But let's just say it's even a small galaxy and it has 500 million stars. What's 500 million times 1,000? And that's how many stars, we're seeing here in this single photo. Now, with the wonders of VR here, let me demonstrate what actual portion of the sky this picture represents. So there we go. It's kind of going up into its portion of the sky.
Wow. Oh.
Amazing.
And it's getting there. It's getting there. It'll find its spot. And yep, just about there we go.
Get out of here.
So the photo that the JWST took in that deep field object represents the amount of sky that would be covered if you held a grain of sand out at arm's length. So, and just to kind of clarify just the monumentalness of that, if you held a grain of sand, which is shown in some macro photography there where someone put a grain of sand in a butterfly's hand, that little speck is the portion of that deep field picture that's represented from our sky. So when we think about it in other terms, just how many galaxies and stars are we talking about in the universe, and how many other nebulas and planets and all of the things that are just going on at once is such a mind-blowing, infinite scale to us that, who knows what kind of possibilities we still haven't discovered out there. Endless, enormous possibilities. And with that kind of takes us through our last stop for the evening. And what we're going to do is open things up for some discussion. But before I do that, I just wanted to offer the floor up to Fuzz if you'd like to kind of say anything or give us a little bit of a nugget of how it felt to put some of these things together. Just would love to hear anything you might have to add.
Oh, just how grateful I am to be able to help you with some of this stuff, just just sitting here and watching all this information just feels awesome. I love every minute of it, even though there's been a lot of challenges with things and restrictions. I look forward to doing more with you too, and just keep adding on and learning as we go along. I think you always do an amazing job, so I'm just truly grateful for you and also for everyone turning out today too. It's just been really awesome. Thanks so much.
Oh my gosh, yeah, right back at you. It's so fun to work on together, and as genuinely wonderful as you all know Fuzz to be, he's equally as talented on the programming and development and design side. So just any kind of collaborative, any type of collaborative work that you've ever wanted to do in VR, you couldn't ask for just a nicer and more fun person to work with. So thank you, Fuzz. Thank you so much for tonight. And with that, let me go ahead and I'm going to bring up a hand raise utility. So if you look over to your left, we have like a little nebula there to click for a hand raise. And if ultimately you decide against sharing, there's also a button to cancel it. So if you get your name up on the board and you ultimately decide, I really didn't want to share after all, you click the X button and take your hand down. So if there's anybody that like to share, is the hand raise tool working? Fuzz, you want to give it a click? Oh, there we go. Dharma Deb up first. Yeah, really looking forward to hearing what you might have to say.
Mute. Am I mute? Okay. What I want to say is, I wish I could stay in touch with the fact that I'm a part of this vastness.
Oh, that's really profound. Yeah, when I was kind of doing some research, and sometimes I go for a walk and listen to a YouTube video, and you really do feel like, wow, like all of this is just going on out there. And it's fun to just kind of, feel like a part of it for a moment. And I saw a couple of comments on the on our YouTube share here too. So we had, Joffrey gave us a whoa, like Keanu Reeves, mind blown. Thanks for that. And Mr. Wizard is my mom. So she says in the Upper Peninsula there's a dark park. It's in Copper Harbor. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we'll have to check that out, Ma. We'll have to see if we can see the Orion Nebula. So we got Jimmy up there now next on the board. Really looking forward to your thoughts.
Yeah, it's quite amazing when I'm sure everybody has heard that we are made of stardust. Our common elements in our body and Earth are the common elements in the universe, and when you really bring in that vastness, that infinite vastness, that we start talking about how life formed here and life could be out there. And there's a lot of people who doubt that there's life. But when you consider that near infinite vastness, so does the probability, I would think. It would almost be near infinite. Well, let me form my words. What are the words I'm looking for? It would almost seem like the probability of there not being other life out there goes down considerably when you consider how big space is, how big the universe is. It's got to be out there, and whether we meet it or not, just knowing that we are all a part of it, a part of that same space dust, kind of brings us all together to the life that we may never meet.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, we are kind of the children of the stars, right? Like we're made of the materials that these stars manufactured, and it's always just so nice. And we talked a little bit earlier with Dharma Dev's comment about feeling connected, to this vast universe, and that's one way to think of the connection. We are the universe. The universe is inside of us as well as all around us. And thanks for being here. Always so nice to hear your voice. And looks like we got Ryan. Ryan, no mind up on the board next. Thanks for raising your hand.
Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you. This is really awesome. Learned some new space facts and had some goosebump moments too. That was the void one, especially for me. I noticed you can actually. I walked through the wall accidentally and fell off, and then realized that I could peek my head through the wall to see the picture beauty, and it was really cool. But when I stared out the void, it was quite scary. And the diorama also I really love, and I saved this world. If that's okay, I'd like to come back, maybe do meditations here or something. And just thank you guys. You did a great job.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And if there's anything we can do to sort of configure the world for you, just shout out. I would love to help with something like that, because your meditations are, especially. We think about outward, the outwardness of the cosmos, but there's such a journey inward too. And thanks for taking us on that journey. Every week. And let's see, my mom's typing some stuff away. You are a master. Gosh, Brian, you're embarrassing me, making this complex information so simple. I hope so. That's the aim. I hope we get there a little bit. And we got T-Bad up next. Yeah, looking forward to hearing your voice, T-Bad. It's been a little while.
What's up, man? I thought this was great.
Hey.
Thank you for doing it. You should be a teacher. I don't know if you're a teacher, but this makes me see the value of how you can teach things in VR. It's a lot better than real life. I was just gonna say, this makes me wonder. Every time I look at the universe, I wonder, it's we're evolved on this planet, right? To be three-dimensional. We see it with our senses, and we orient it to our senses with what we can see. I just wonder what we can't see, what our eyes don't see, what our ears can't hear. What are the things in this universe that are not designed for us? Anyway, I get real interested in that, because I just don't know if maybe it doesn't make sense to me that there's all this stuff out here, and there's not more of a purpose. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, doesn't it make you feel kind of small sometimes when you just open your mind to the vastness of it, and how many other things are going on that we just don't have any way of even knowing about yet. And that's what makes it exciting to me, is just we keep learning just a little bit. There's so much more to know than we know right now. There's exponential amounts of information that we haven't discovered yet, but it's fun to dabble in what we really feel like we do know.
Oh yeah, man, thank you. This is amazing. I'm a speck.
Absolutely, yeah. We even made thousands of galaxies into a speck. What does that make us?
Okay, Tom, get off the floor. I know you're boulder.
Why are you laying on the
we got Kaylin. I'm so glad that you could come. Kaylin Cruz, you're up next.
Yes, you are.
I didn't want to be.
Hi, I'm over here. I'm near Tom. I also was lying on the floor. It's so good to be here. Oh, sorry. I just stood up. I have no words. Goodness, it's so good to be here with people. Just to breathe. Scott, your voice is really relaxing and fun and easy to learn from. And I had the same goosebumps I had 2.5 years ago. It's like time hasn't passed, and there were so many moments that stood out. One of them is that we have a sibling that I want to look it up. I think it was HD 162826. And I remember those numbers because they're special numbers to me, but I thought HD, like one of my favorite poets, Hilda Doolittle, who also writes about stars and about beauty. I've been thinking lately about what's beautiful. And I'm looking up, how do we find beauty in each other, in the universe, no matter what turmoil is local, how you can kind of look beyond and feel awe and peace and wonder. So thank you. That's what I'm taking away. Yeah, lots of love.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm right there with you about the sibling discovery. Like, it's just, I don't know why. It just makes me feel super, just super warm inside. It feels like less alone, like there's a whole other star that understands, what we've got.
We have brother, sister, star. Yeah,
we do.
Exactly. You get on the list by clicking that image right there above the big red X.
And it'll light up, and then click your use trigger. There you go. You're up.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got Jaber up next on the list too. So glad you could make it, Jaber.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Scott. Thank you so much, you and Fuzz. This was an amazing presentation. And I was also inspired. I think you're a great communicator, and I appreciate you making time for this. Quick question. Could you just share a word about the future of the Webb telescope? I assume it's still producing images. What's in store for us that you can share?
Yeah, there's also been a couple of really great images, like local images, where it's taken photos of like Jupiter and shown it in colors that like it's never been, sort of configured into. Telling us new things about things that are right next door to us galactically too. So, not only is it searching for the universe's first galaxies, but there's been recent discoveries too, is that these galaxies they're finding that are just like a few 100 million years older than the Big Bang, they're much bigger and more constructed than they thought they were going to be. They thought there wasn't enough time for everything to sort of congeal and come together, and that the structure of these galaxies was a real surprise. Theoretical physicists thought they were going to be just, much smaller and sort of disorganized. And, they're finding that they're wrong. So, I'm not a theoretical physicist personally, but when you have these little nuggets of information like that, they can take their vast knowledge and make these like more accurate assumptions about other things. So the James Webb is like completely redefining, what we know about the cosmos through these new findings. I hope we can do this again, like pick another topic and sort of explore, Fuzz and I, have plans to maybe put some future events together too. So, we'll pick something fun like that and dive deep. Yeah, thanks for the question, Jaber. And it looks like we got Rick Rolled up on deck next. Let me see if I can throw the mic over to you. Go ahead, Rick Rolled. Oh, you might be on mute. I don't hear your voice yet, but let's see if it comes in. No, still for some reason don't hear your voice, Rick. So maybe we'll come. Come back around to Rick World if he can come back in, maybe headset crashness or something. Yeah. Tom, I see Tom, you got you up on the board there. Let's get your comments and go ahead.
Hey, are you hearing me?
Yep.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Well, just to
I hear you, Tom.
Second everything that everyone else said, and how this is just, to me, just the best expression you could have of individuals working together and doing something that they like, and then getting to share it, and we get to feel your passion and get something out of it. But the real thing I want to add is, you didn't get a grant from the Ford Foundation or a sponsorship. You just did this, and so the tools that we have now just allow people to create experiences like this that get to convey your passion, but then just make so many of the rest of us feel so. Thanks for not waiting. Thanks for just doing it, and not waiting for that big grant to come through. You don't need to. You just do it. So, thanks a million.
Here. Second that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, thanks so much for that feedback. And I always have to shamelessly admit that I plagiarize a little bit of your Ram Dass event. I really feel like you put the template together for how to get together purposefully in VR. So thanks for that. And it's a real labor of love. I personally have excitement, of course, about the topic, but what's exciting for me is just we can do this. We can construct an experience and share it with one another. And I plan to be on VR for as long as I can still put on a headset. And I'm thinking about the future. Are we gonna still know each other when we're all 90 years old and stuff? I sure hope so. So that to me, that's what this is all about, is having fun, building connections, and just purposefully getting together to share, how wonderful life can be. So yeah, goodness, no grant required.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks like we got Rick rolled back. Let's see if we can get you. Let's see, I can get the camera over by Fuzz. Hopefully we catch you. We got your arm at least. Yeah, there we go. There's Rick rolled.
Okay.
Oh no, there's no audio. There we go. We got you now.
There we go. Yeah, I'm still getting used to my new headset. I was having some issues, but sorry, I missed the first half of this. I was indisposed, and then I had some trouble getting my headset going. So all I wanted to say is, as I was coming into the conversation, I love the fact that we had such a huge turnout for this, because everybody's so fascinated by this subject matter. And I've been watching a lot of videos and documentaries, more about the more philosophical and the whole identity and everything when it comes to space, because again, stuff like the light we're seeing is billions of years old, and the biggest supernova that has existed, the light we see from that is one of the oldest things that we can see. And those type of concepts always just floor me, that we look up in the sky and we're seeing so much history. And even stuff I didn't know about this until recently. The Great Attractor is another concept that I've been looking into, and it just creates a whole nother dynamic of the scale of the cosmos, the universe. And I'm just always fascinated by that, and I love that all of us can be in this space to view this and communicate and collaborate and learn from each other. And I really want this to continue. I want to be doing this into my 90s, because maybe in my 90s I'm not as physically able, but guess what? Me putting on my headset, or soon enough me just hitting the button on the side of the ocular implant that's in my eyes now or something. I don't know what they're going to have by the time I'm 90. It'll be like the Matrix, so who knows? That'll be the Oculus 10. Will be the Matrix. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And yeah, again, Scott, thank you again for putting this on, because this is always an opportunity for us to grow our minds and learn something from each other. And that's all I wanted to say. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're muted, Scott.
I am. I was. Yeah, Rickworld, I just wanted to say I'm totally right there with you. Low tech. I'm overwhelmed, by it's so rewarding to have worked together with Fuzz to put something together, but to share it with everybody, that's like a whole nother level. Like I'm so overwhelmed by everybody that's here, kind of sharing the experience together, and especially the topic. I mean, it's just. You almost can't talk about the cosmos without having like just an incredible conversation. So it's an endlessly fun topic. I hope we can continue. And let's see. Yeah, I'm glad my mom's not posting baby pictures or anything like that over there.
The proud mom, let her be.
I think your mom was my favorite part.
Oh, 10th Doctor. Yeah, I just heard your voice. So nice. Thank you for coming, and Lalang. And I thought I saw Fuzz on the board. Was that an accidental hand raise there, Fuzz? Or let's see. See if I can get the camera over to you. I do.
Oh, yeah, it was on me already. No, that was totally accidental. I don't know how I do it, but I always end up clicking the talk button, and I'm just like, ugh. No, I'm good. Just want to say thanks to everyone for coming out, and like as always, I love your talks, and just to be a part of it is just my pleasure.
Yeah, I would never program a script to just kind of randomly put your name on the board just to hear your voice or anything like that. So I'm glad that didn't happen for you. It's,
Thank you, Fuzz.
Cool. It seems like our commentary is kind of like winding down, and that's great. There's no pressure to say anything. If you've been holding the comment for last, or the board's not working for you, do a real avatar hand raise, and I'll see if I can see any comments, because I don't want to miss anybody. But kind of a going once and a going twice. And it looks good then. I think we'll sort of wrap the official event there. I'll put our audio back on normal, and if you haven't seen the diorama in the back,
Bye, Kristen. Lexi.
Good night, Kristen. And if you haven't seen the diorama in the back, check it out, because it's kind of fun. And see if you can find the James Webb in there. And good night until next time.
They're just short. They're purple.
Good job. Thank you.
That was amazing, Scott.
Oh, thank you.
Good Buzz did an amazing job.
I can't believe it worked.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. It worked.
That was just Scott. Great job, guys. That was awesome.
I know. I'm gonna go say goodbye to everybody.
Hey, Maka. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So glad you're here too.
See you later.
Me too. Nicely done.
I know. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
It's nice to know we're not the only child of the universe.
Hi, Evan.
Yeah, right on.
We got a sibling son.
We do. I think that's the first place we should go.
But maybe that's the evil universe. Maybe we're the evil universe. I do have a mustache.
the mirror Earth. Yeah, the mirror sun. Oh no.
Should get my robotic hand control a mustache. Like,
Yeah, maybe we're the mirror sun. Yeah. I'm just so glad it worked. I pressed buttons and they did the thing.
They did the thing.
Javer, I love that avatar. Oh, you mean the event or the show, or in what way?
Preparing for it. The buttons doing the things, and then you have the way to put your name on the wall and just all the things. And we even got an invitation. I'm sure you saw it. Somebody wants to join Star Trek, so I guess you have to go on. There's gonna have to be
fun.
another event.
We're gonna do Deep Space Nine after
Definitely
all.
needs to be another event. This was great, guys. Thanks so much for your investment of time. I think this is an indication of a high level of interest.
You created something, you know that. Now that this is the standard. So.
Yeah, there's expectation. But that's a good thing. That is a good thing. I don't think there's an expectation that you have to do it, but there's a hope that this could become something that repeats itself.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I would love to do that because, you know, it's funny because the act of like putting the information together, like I personally like learned so much. Like it's really fascinating. It's like a fun way to celebrate like a topic that you enjoy is doing the research to share it.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
when I was in grad school, there was a standing joke that you never really learn a subject until you teach it, and there's a lot of truth to that. When you have to sit down and work on a presentation, you learn so much, even if it's roughly generally familiar to you.
Maybe a little.
We've got another person wanting to join Love Letters, Scott. It's gonna have to happen. It's just a mandate at this point.
That one, Love Letter for Sci-Fi, though.
We've expanded, yeah. We're no longer just Star Trek.
I didn't consider that the name of the group would, you know, limit it to Star Trek. We'd have to change the name of the group. We would have to. Sorry, I don't know if it's sweet stuff.
Yeah.
I just remember.
Oh, it is the wee stuff. Yeah, how about Love Letters to Sci-Fi? Oh, what was that, Casey?
It needs to be called Scott Events Limited.
Oh, we're gonna do like an LLC.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
Good
what
idea.
I wanted to say earlier, Scott. Getting Jordy and Scotty on the same vessel, that was quite a trick, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, what was the episode name of that one?
For Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure. Oh, not that Scott.
Hi, Lana.
Yeah, Mr. Montgomery Scott.
Hadn't said hello.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was kind of saying you, and I wasn't sure if you could hear me.
Thank you.
But I heard you there.
Happy New Year. Better, right? Yeah, good night.
Flo, we missed you last night, but glad you joined us by Discord.
Enjoy.
Can you hear me, Flo?
Oh, I was muted. Sorry, I was responding to you. And I was muted.
Oh, thanks. I was
afraid
so,
I was muted.
wondering if like
It was one of those
Friday
nights
night,
where like I wanted to hear
slot,
the
like,
talk, but
made
I was
it
also
easier
dead
to come,
exhausted, so I just
so happy
listened
that
to
you
it
could
sort of
make
resting
it.
my
I'm so
eyes.
happy you're here.
Okay.
Yeah,
because it's a Saturday.
I don't know why I was so
so
tired last night, but I was beat. There was anticipation of having to wake up finally
Sorry to
after
eat
a
up
week
a little
of
bit of your weekend, but it ends up being a
That was
time
our
that you can
speculation
make it.
that
I'm
you
so
were
happy.
heavily
No, it's all
preparing
good.
for the next
my
day.
tutoring session got moved to tomorrow since she's
and it was a day.
volleyball.
Ooh,
So
man, the
season
kids
for
made up
volleyball.
for all the days off. They just packed all the drawings into
okay.
one day.
It doesn't sound like a good thing.
Yeah, how's
It was
everything
a
else?
day. I
Good.
Well, you got a
for one
weekend
day
to
of
recover.
work, it was a long week.
of the year, so I finally got my
But yes,
office.
it is the weekend, thank goodness. Although I'm
finished
finally
and
getting my
stuff,
COVID
so
vaccine
I
tomorrow,
get
so
to
I'm
move
probably
on
going to spend like the rest of the weekend going,
Well,
Mm,
you know
gotcha.
what? I always reacted to my COVID
But I was
vaccines until
telling
this last one, and it
Jim here
was
about
just
I
like
was like,
falling
oh,
off a
this is
log. I
kinda
didn't have
cool. I like
any
the
trouble with
dome
it.
and
Do you know
how
which
it
one you're
opens
getting?
up and
I don't. The first ones I had,
That
the
was
first
really
couple
a
of years
special
were
moment
fine.
for me when Fuzz
Then last
showed it to
year,
me.
like,
I was like,
I could not
kind of
even like use
conceptually
my
talking
arms,
about
like,
it,
pick
and
up a
then
cup
he's
of
like,
water.
"Here, I put something together. Let me show it
That was
to
like
you."
my
And I was
first
like,
one.
"What?
I
How
felt
did
like I had a
you
case of
do
the
that?"
flu. I just
And
spent
yeah,
the day in
I
bed.
didn't feel that.
Super
Like, I didn't
cool.
have all the symptoms. I
I was about
just,
to say Tom
my
had
arm.
the good idea
My
to lay
arm
down
just
and
like
just
was
stare
in
up
so
and
much
talk.
pain. Just my
Yeah.
arm.
I
Brain,
don't
my
think you
my
realize.
good arm was fine.
Yeah,
I
but it was
thought
funny
it was
anyways.
But it probably meant I had a good reaction to
Yeah,
it.
it
So
was funny
hopefully
for
that
me
means
too because
Yeah,
he was
that's
in
right.
like a T
Unity.
pose, like on the ground, and he
wrong
was
with
like
that.
going around. He was
I-
like flying
it
around.
wasn't by choice. It was just
on the
because
ship,
the
and it was like
rider
so
dragged
funny
around
to
on
see.
type of
What's
vaccine at
going
the
And I
time.
was
I've
like,
had
Hopefully
both
he's not being dragged
Pfizer
around at
and
home.
Moderna. Probably
Change the
about
subject.
half
Let's
of
finish first.
I think
each.
I
And
have.
I have
sure,
found
sure.
that Pfizer doesn't
No, not
affect
at
me
all.
nearly
What was
as
up?
much
Yeah.
as the Moderna
Sorry, my
does.
timing is
The
bad.
Moderna
I just wanted to make a
No, it's
request,
never bad.
future request.
Well,
more
I have
Is there
to
any
take what I
chance
can
Mr.
get
Ricky Ricordo
because
could someday have his
none of the
own
Walmarts
avatar?
near
Because
me
I
had it.
promise you,
None
what's going
of
to happen
the
is I'm going to
CVS's
saunter
near
right
me
up to
had
him
it.
someday,
Oh,
and we're
So
going to
I
have a
had
whole
to go.
conversation.
The only place I
And
could
the,
find
and
it
the
was
extra
Kroger.
kicker for that is he's
So
a Ricordo, so
whatever Kroger has,
I'm going to
I'm
be extra
taking.
embarrassed. So I was just thinking.
Yeah, you have to take a
I would
try.
have gotten it sooner, except then we all started getting sick in the
Yeah,
time frame.
no,
when
I
we needed
get
to
that.
get
Now
it,
that you
and then
mention it, it's
well,
something I never really thought of.
So
So
it
now that
needs
you
to happen
mention it,
now.
I
I
think
don't
we
know
do need
how
to
many
buy.
times
Just change them to blue, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, glad you were
yeah,
able
so
to
many
do
times
that.
as yeah.
Blue too.
This
I
was
don't know
a
how
great
many times
event.
I'll look at you and
That's
then
a
go
great
like,
It
idea.
was.
see him over
I'm
there
in
and like, what?
shock because I'm
Okay,
realizing
okay,
like
okay, we're fine.
how many people in
But
this
yeah, blue.
group
Because
Yeah,
are
we
smarter
can
than
change
me.
this.
Record it.
Yeah, Lorang and I used to.
Yeah, we just have a lot
Film
of
you,
people
and I
from
would do the
different
blue
walks of
version and
life,
she do the
that's for
pink.
sure.
But
That's true
since
too.
it's yours, we
The
stopped
areas
using
of
it.
expertise are so richly
Oh no, it's
varied.
always a welcome to share it. So yeah,
I'm
it's
impressed
a
with
great avatar. So if it ever feels
Yep.
fun to try on, yeah. But that's a great
I
idea to
favorited the
change the
work. It'd be
camera
cool
bot
to come in here
to a
and just
different
like
color.
stare up at it.
Yeah, anything else? Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do
do
that
it.
too before I forget.
I don't. I don't
Because
think we've
otherwise,
gotten
I
that
might get a
far.
whole conversation and
I think it's
not
supposed to be black out.
Oh yeah, that's what we said. Yeah,
I
that'll
might
be
have to
fun.
exercise my veto
Yeah,
rights.
I think
In here,
that's
please
what
give me
it was.
veto rights. I would
Oh, we talking about tomorrow night?
Yeah,
That's the highlight of my week, guys. I'm
you
looking
got
forward
it.
to it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
It's good to
it's
see
funny.
you
I
guys
really-
again. We got to get going. I'm sorry,
It's all the
but
people
but
that, like,
it's good to see you,
it's
Matt.
crazy.
Oh,
It's good to see
I
you.
was talking to
Scott.
my boss
Yeah,
today
that
at
was
work.
great. You did a really
we're
good job.
planning what
Thanks
we're doing for
for,
next year, and like I'm doing
yeah,
some
putting it on, and
workshops
it
and
was you and Fuzz did
VR
excellent.
demonstrations, and I want to do a demonstration.
Oh, wonderful! I'm so glad you could
for the
come. It's
government,
really nice to see
because I have
both
to
of
do a
you. So
government
I hope you have a
presentation.
wonderful weekend.
So I want
Too.
to show
Thank
this.
you,
I was
you
like,
too.
yeah, some of these
Maybe
people
I'll
I've got to
see
know
you
so
next
well
time.
that
Thanks again.
I've known them
Yeah,
all of
for
the
sure.
pandemic, and we've become good friends. Like I consider you guys as much as my real friends in real life. Well, not
Oh,
real
how
friends
fun.
in real life.
Yeah.
My
Tangible friends.
I like the music. Too. I'm not-
exactly. And the ones that I could
I'm
like,
not,
hey, I could give you a hug. Hey, oh,
I'm not sure how many
you
people
know,
will like
there you
be
go.
like,
Yeah.
yes, but for me, this is
Now,
very
Ray,
cinematic. This is-
don't
like I can
don't do it
imagine
so well that they
one of those
want to
scenes
move some funding in
where
this
somebody's
area.
on
Because you
stage,
told
maybe
us
stage
once that if
entered
that
for, like,
happened,
people
you'd have to
busting out
remove yourself.
this kind of music. And,
Yes.
you know the episode.
I
we're
wanted to hit
talking
the
about.
crank to see if it does anything.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
No,
like, people Ryan was in there sometimes,
you're doing,
you know,
yeah.
and
Yeah, that,
keeps
I have
my
to be
brain
careful
going.
because
Keiko
like
I
eventually
like that
took an
avatar.
instrument.
It's different.
I just
Exactly.
found it.
Exactly.
It's a
And all
It's
the
from
fun
the
guys
movie
in the
Robots with
audience
Rob
or me
Williams.
on
So you're
stage,
playing
too.
Robin Williams' character.
We wouldn't be playing this.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a real. I love that movie. Yeah, the Robin Williams.
Yeah, the
digital,
writers,
yeah, he
the
played, he
writers
voiced
just
his
take like a
character.
little insignificant thing like that and like sort of make a whole,
It even
the
looks
whole
a little
driver
like
of the
like
plot.
the nose and the eyebrows.
What was
yeah,
your inspiration for this music?
You just made me that much more fond of the.
Yeah.
Oh, totally Fuzz. Fuzz was
I'll have
like,
to go back
this
and look that
time,
up. I was a
last
huge
time we did
Robin
sort of like
Williams
a cosmic like frequency, like kind of one of those like
Yeah, it's so
reproduced
sad because you
frequency
didn't find out till
videos.
much later why he committed
And
suicide.
Fuzz was like, this time
So
we
then
didn't think
you're
about
like,
like
oh,
cello,
that's terrible.
and I was like, oh,
He was
that
losing who
sounds
he was because
amazing.
of dementia. Yeah.
It was.
Well, I'm hitting the sack, folks, but I will see you tomorrow
Yeah.
night.
See you tomorrow.
And
Maybe
Can't wait
some
to
point
kill
this-
you. too?
Weekend. Music is such a big part of the event for me, and you guys know.
Hopefully, yeah. We'll
Everybody
see how
is
the
spot on.
nerve does. Like it gets better, and like
Oh,
right now
I'm
the
so glad
shoulder
for that.
doesn't hurt, but I can still
No,
feel
I
it
was
in
going
my
to tell you
thumb.
that when I was
Does that
testing
make
the
sense?
event,
Like if I
I was
move my
enjoying
arm,
by
my thumb
testing
tickles.
the cello through YouTube.
I just don't want to overdo it. So I'm like,
And I discovered that every 30 minutes it would pop up like a commercial.
Take care. Good night.
So,
Go ahead, O2.
if I hadn't
Yep, good night.
tested, like we would have suddenly got like saved $300 on your insurance from like Liberty Mutual or something. And I would have been like, wait, what? What's going on right now? It's not supposed to happen.
With any luck, it would have been on target. Like, and you too can own a star just for $300. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That felt a little nostalgic. I think it might have just been the two of us testing something where a commercial came on back in Alt Space. Does that sound at all familiar? I don't know.
That sounds about right.
Lots of adventures of YouTube. That's also immediately taking me into the world where my headset was like slightly getting wonky at certain places. We're trying to figure out where in the park, I think. Yeah, the trees. We did sort of solve that one. Man, I think events like this just like make all these mental worlds collide in my mind. So just immediately like, almost like a dream, just flows from that to teaching your mom, to your mom like that. Anyway.
Oh,
it's
right.
really cute at first, yeah.
That's a real flood of memories, you know, like we also used to have that kind of like snowy world out in space with like Parisa's website imagery up in the piano.
Yeah. Man, that world for being a sort of unfinished proof of concept as a sort of gift to Parisa, who I'm not even sure, we must have shown her, right? You must have shown her. I don't remember her in that world, surprisingly, and yet so many things happened in that world. It was one of it would actually be kind of fun to see like some sort of chart of like the amount of time I spent in various worlds, including my own, my Ender's Game little thing. And I bet the one you made would be higher than a surprising number of the worlds I had been to. So many good. I mean, those conversations were hours. Like, it's just, they flew by. I bet we don't even realize how much time we spent talking there.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I can remember going into that and like you know, it being like 3 hours later or something, and it's like it's like you just never run out of anything to talk about. So
yeah,
it was such a fun world to hang out in and comfortable, and those were really, really good days.
And then when people realized, or maybe we all even realized that you had turned it on so that everybody was a builder.
Yeah.
What? This is evolving. And yet it didn't get too abused. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I came in and there would be like a house, you know, like all of a sudden there was a house, and then there was like trees, and then there was like ornaments. And
when I first saw that house, I was convinced you must have done it, and I'm like, I wonder what you're thinking. This is genius. I just can't quite put my finger on it. But
yeah, that made it even better. It's like a happy accident, you know, just people could throw stuff in there.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad those kinds of things came up from this. Like, I feel like this was a fun little milestone.
A genius move putting pictures from the first one at the beginning of this one. I thought that was a nice touch. I almost feel like I want to keep seeing those pictures in addition to this one. So maybe it's like become a yearbook of sorts. Beginning of every one of these
fun,
events.
Yeah, we can start it out with like little photos of things that happened in the previous ones.
Yeah, that'd be nice. This was awesome.
Yeah, good idea.
Won't keep you. I know it's quite a bit later for you than it is for me. I'm at 10 o'clock.
It's okay. I don't have to work tomorrow, so but I also don't, you know, I'm not here to keep you either. So if you got stuff to go do,
No, I am good. If you have topics, let's ramble away. The night is young here, and I've got no plans.
Yeah, let me shut the stream down for us.
Sure.
It'll just take me a second. Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. I don't think I've said anything, but yet.
Didn't admit to any crime. Yeah, give me 10 seconds, then I can hear all about your crimes.
Okay, I'll just get some marijuana. Give me a second. And then I'll...
Well, that's legal, so you're all good.
Oh, damn it. Okay, I'll just get some. What do I have?
Yeah.
I need to call a drug trafficker and anyway.
Yeah, quick. We need to do this before he kicks the camera. Yeah, just a moment.